Hello everyone, how's it going? It is me, Jack here, and welcome to episode number 5 of the Football Manager 2024 save with Bolton Wanderers. In today's episode, we're going to be playing relegation-threatened Shrewsbury Town in the League One and Wigan Athletic, who are near us pushing for a playoff spot. So, since the last episode, we have played a number of fixtures, and the form has been a real mixed bag because obviously we played Blackpool and Charlton Athletic in the last episode, and it was just the start of a really, really good period of form at that Christmas time. But since that episode, it's just been a bit inconsistent. We finished Blackpool off with a game against Crawley Town, and we drew that by one. We drew that 1-1. Crawley Town made it 1-0 in the 6th minute. However, we equalised in the 78th. It looked like we were going to push on for the winner. However, it never really came about. Then a defeat late on to the hands of Stockport County. Now, this was a really infuriating game because we were leading 1-0, looked quite comfortable. We were defensive. We had 5 at the back. We were ready just to defend this lead. And 2 late goals by Lewis Bate and Jack Darwin meant we lost that game by 2-1. Forced me to make a little bit of a change, really, to a few players, and luckily Victor Adebayo was one of those players, and he made it 1-0 against Reading, and the game finished like that. So a comfortable 1-0 victory, but we weren't able to get any more than that. After that was a boring 0-0 draw to start January off. No real chances against Charlton after we beat them earlier in the season by 2-0 at home. Nothing happened, a goalless draw. After that, we played Lincoln City, where we dominated the game 3-1. Obviously, we were able to, at this point, register Benassi, register Matete. I'll show you how I've done that in a second, but we were able to register those players, and Benassi actually got on the score sheet in this really good game. Josh Sheehan got 2 goals as well, the man from midfield, and we won that by 3-0. And I also beat them again in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy Northern Section third round, through early goals from Carlos Mendes Gomez and again from Victor Adebayo from the penalty spot. So that gave us the confidence as we played against Burton. But again, a really disappointing 3-2 defeat. They took the lead early on through Elliot Watt, again equalising through Marco Benassi, and I thought we could go on then to win the game. But the next goal came from John Daddy Bonvartson in the 73rd minute, and Ronnie Stutter in the 80th. Aaron Collins was unfortunately only able to get a consolation goal in that one as the game finished 1-1. And the final away game before today's episode we played was Northampton Town, who we drew again 1-1. Randall getting on the score sheet, but Wilson equalising, and the game finished like that. And I did make a change back to the lineup for this game. Southwood had a bit of a disappointing performance. He was at fault for one of the goals, so I brought in Baxter, but then he only got a 6.5 rating in this game. So yeah, it's made this game a bit difficult to sort of pick. However, we are in the 23rd of January. We are in January, and we are able to make business. But actually, the real business has come through the registration of Matete, who's come back from his injury, and Benassi, who we signed just after the summer window. It means that we've unregistered Santos. We don't have to register Matheson. I was thinking if we could try and sell Coleman. However, picked up an injury, so we've had to keep him. Murphy doesn't have to be registered, and the rest of the team just sits how it is. We haven't really got the budget, unfortunately, to bring anyone in. I think we brought in one player. That's just because my board decided to bring him in. He's Jake Gee, picked up an injury straight away as expected. I suffered a cold. He's a 1-star rated player, potential 4-star. Might one day get a game. However, he's got a lot of building up to do. And then again, Levi Lang is a centre-back choice that the board are wanting to bring in. So because he's a B-, I thought let's just throw him into the to the under-23s, under-21, sorry. Lincoln want him as well, but isn't going to pull up anything for us this season. So because of the mixed bag of form, and a lot of the teams now level on 31 games, barring the outlier that is Birmingham City, we sit ninth. We sit ninth in the league at the minute, and it is so tight, 4 points separating 4th to 9th. We have still got a game in hand on Wycombe, but there's loads of teams in this sort of run now that want to stab at the playoffs, and we are one of about 6 teams. And we unfortunately at the minute sit at the bottom end of it. And we just got to hope today that we can do something. The board are satisfied because I think we've done all right in the Carabao Cup. We've done okay in the FA Cup, but they are disappointed with our league position. And to be honest, so am I. I really wanted to get into the playoffs this season, in this first season, because if you look at the season preview, we should be. But they've got the third best team according to the game. And that's quite, well, sometimes it can be an accurate representation, but sometimes it can't be. And I do think we have got a good squad. Are we getting the best out of them? Is this the right tactic to be using? I don't know. I've reverted back to the 4-3-3 with the ball-winning midfielder role because Matete came back from his injury and the cam just really wasn't working for us. So we've gone with this, and I'm going to try and stick with this for now as we play Shrewsbury Town, and hopefully get back to winning ways. Baxter will go in goal. Right back, I'm going to continue with Luke Matheson. He is growing in terms of his ability as a right back. Owen Tall and Farino at centre back with a C2-2 at left back. Matete's going to continue to fill into that ball-winning midfielder spot as he's done all right as of late. Continue with this fantastic partnership of Sheehan and Benassi. Benassi slotted in perfectly as that box-to-box midfielder, and he's made a big impact since we've been able to register him. It's out wide and up front where it's just so inconsistent at the minute. I am going to put Adebayo up top because I think he's growing well and will have a bit more of an impact. As McAtee, really, I think if I remember at the start of the season and his development, I wanted him to be our star striker. 8 goals in 28 doesn't really scream amazing. The goals have came partially from Collins and Adebayo, so we'll start those two today and we'll go with Randall at right wing as opposed to Sean or Mendes Gomez. And on the bench, Dakras, Cogley, Murphy, Forrester, Mendes Gomez, Sean, Keanu Tete and McAtee, but we need to fit Thomason in because he's come back from his injury now as well. Dempsey's getting there. He's only got another week to go, but we need to probably put him in for Sean, I think. So if someone does get tired, we can bring in him as a replacement. We're going to pump fists and say Shrewsbury Town are below us in the form table. Let's try and make an impact today. It's been a bit of a strange sort of period this since coming back from Christmas, because we have started really well, but then we just pick up these really scrappy results, and there's not really, apart from Aaron Collins and maybe Owen Tall, there's not really a player in the team. Actually, maybe Benassi and Sheehan. There's not a lot of players in the team where I go, yeah, you are set in stone in our team, like going on for next season. Do you know what I mean? Because they are so inconsistent. And I'm trying to forward think into next season. And it's always difficult when you're a team in League One, as you'll know, pushing for playoffs. You don't know where you are going to be next season. And the whole rebuild of this squad is only possible if we know where we're going to be because of the type of player we try and attract. Collins cutting inside there, making it 1-0. That's a great start. And he's definitely a player that I'm expecting to use, whether you're in the Championship next season, but most definitely in League One, he would be able to compete at a really, really good standard. I did forget to mention, actually, as we went into this game, we did have one offer for Gethin Jones. It's the only player that's had an offer. I don't think he's on the... I've not put him on the bench. That was my mistake. Oh, he's on international duty. We had like a £1.5 million offer that I just sort of flat out rejected, but on reflection, and we are getting 100% of the budget, it might have been an idea to negotiate it. We could have had a bit of money to spend, but I rejected it. And looking back, we have got a decent amount of cover already at the wing-back slots. However, Jones is a very versatile player with him being able to play at centre-back. And in fact, he was playing next to Owen Tall at the minute as that ball-playing defender. But I did reject it. And he's done okay since we've been able to do that, and that is scrappy play from Shrewsbury Town. And Victor Adebayo shows us why he deserves to start getting his 11th goal of the season. That is not a pretty sight for the Shrewsbury Town manager there, Nsiala, trying to find the keeper, and Adebayo slots it into an empty net. Shrewsbury Town currently languish in the relegation zone, and you can absolutely see why. But then look how close this league table is. We're playing earlier than the other side, and a win takes us into 5th place, which is amazing, and it would be an exact position where I'd like to finish this season. But you just don't know, do you? I think one thing we do know for certain is Birmingham, with 4 games in hand, currently winning, sitting in the promotion places. I'd be very surprised if they are not there come the end of the season. However, 2-0 up is still not a time to think the game is over, and Leo Castledine gets a goal back. Shrewsbury Town have not looked good in this game at all. However, what looked like a long throw into the box by Nurse played a short pass to Lloyd, and it gets back to him through some pretty passing. Castledine absolutely opens up our defence, and a consolation goal is back for them. He looks knackered and has got a knee injury, yet that is not stopping him today from getting something out of this game. And these are the types of games where we'll 2-0 up, we'll be comfortable, and then all of a sudden the opposition will get something back out of this when they don't deserve to in the slightest. Marco Benassi with a free kick. He puts it into the box. Adebayo nearly gives us that 2-goal cushion again. But the ball's striking the post. Randall with a great effort in again. Who'll heads it away, and it'll go out for a Bolton corner. This is the best time to get a goal because it's 5 minutes before half time. And it would do us very nicely. Benassi into the area. Fires in a very driven ball. Back to him again. Finds Ferrino, knocks it to Randall, and that's not a very good touch. As we continue on this game, XG is very high for us at the minute, which is something we need to try and use to our advantage. And Victor Adebayo, right before half time, gives us that 2-goal advantage with a hideous celebration in the corner. But let's keep this now as we get to half time. 4 minutes of added time. And it's a 3-1 lead that we take into the break. Well done on getting shots away. Let's keep it going. And I hate it when you say that and immediately a highlight comes, because it can just change the whole mentality of this game. That's a brilliant save by Nathan Baxter. He's proven to us why he should be that number 1 keeper. And it's so difficult because when you have, I've said it earlier episode, but when you've got 2 what look to be first team goalkeepers, they haven't complained. When Southwood had that run in the team, Baxter wasn't saying I should be playing first team football. I think they both understand that they are really strong goalkeepers when they're on their game. And it's why Baxter had that. I think he probably needed that break more than anything. And when he had that rubbish run of form as we were experiencing it just goes hand in hand sometimes. A goalkeeper's morale is so important to that position. They're the only one in the position. They've only got 2 or 3 of them there in the team who are the goalkeeper. It's absolutely massive. I don't know what he was doing there, but that free kick looked like it was travelling at the corner. Struck vigorously, but strikes the post. As we'll just make a change here, I think, at the 62nd minute. Randall will take off and we'll bring on Mendes Gomez for someone else. Owen Toole, always average rating is just low, and I don't get why, because he's arguably one of the best defenders in this division. His technical ability is absolutely amazing. Yet sometimes I think, how on earth are you so lowly rated in the match? Here's Jay Matete coming up. Matete or Matete? Did anyone know? Leave a comment. Oh, say 2-2 strikes it from distance, and that was not too far away from the goal at all. 20 minutes to go. Shrewsbury Town still have an opportunity to get something in this game, but it's up to us to make it not happen. It's a corner. Lloyd strikes it, and it hits off the crossbar. And all of a sudden, they are right back into this game once more. Shrewsbury 2, Bolton Wanderers 3. It comes back out to him, and Lloyd strikes it. Baxter looks as if he gets a touch. I can't tell whether it hits the bar or just hits the roof of the net. However, we've got to focus now because we need 3 points from this game. Josh Sheehan looks tired. I'm wondering whether we just drop him back and we just play here now with 2 ball-winning midfielders. It's not too negative, but it just gives that defence, our defence, a little bit of protection, a little bit of cover. And I'm not going to drop it too far back, and that is perfect. That is the reason why we've done that, because it still allows us to continue with that attacking trio, that attacking threat. And from one man to another, Aaron Collins gives himself another goal in this game. That is a fantastic ball in by Luke Maddison. That's what we've missed in this middle point of the season. And both of our star men, Victor Adebiojo and Aaron Collins, are now on 2 goals each. Let's not give them away back into it, though, through this highlight, boys. Lloyd to Gilead. Tries to find Gate, but Thomason is there. We've really missed out those midfield. That during the winter time when we had lots of games, we just couldn't change Sheehan. And we were so lucky we didn't have injuries to Sheehan. And then we had injuries to our ball-winning midfielder, and then we'd end up having to bring on Gethin Jones played a spell at ball-winning midfielder. I think even Farino had to play a game there as well, just because we were so limited. So limited. Aaron Collins through on goal. Can he complete the hat-trick? The ball just turns away from him. It doesn't look like it's going to happen for us. We'll take off... I can't take off Benessi. We'll take off a Say 2-2 for Dacros Cogley. And... I don't want to take off Collins or Adebiojo because there's a possibility that they could get a hat-trick, and that would be fantastic if they could do so. 20 shots shows to us that we definitely can create. We just struggled to do so. As the full-time whistle goes, Shrewsbury Town 2, Bolton 4. I'm very happy with that. That is the attacking impetus we need between now and the end of the season. There's 14 games to go. We've got ourselves back into the playoffs. Let's go and play Wigan Athletic and try and continue this positive momentum. So we've arrived for the game against Wigan Athletic, and I've just shown you here the expectations for the match. The board are only expecting a draw. However, the supporters predicting a victory, and I totally forgot to mention this. Wigan Athletic, if you're a Bolton fan, you know Wigan, fierce rivals for you, the greater Manchester derby. They sincerely believe both a good result and finishing above them this season is a massive objective. And I think I remember rightly, I remember seeing that, I think, at the start of the season. I don't know whether that was shared with you on camera, but the supporters want us to finish above Wigan Athletic this season. And if we look at the league table, Wigan are only 6 points behind. They've got a game in hand. So it's very important that we try and get something here out of this. And something else I wanted to share with you, because I've never seen this person before as a manager in the game. Helena Costa, a female manager, formerly a scout at Celtic, chief scout at Watford. Currently the manager of Wigan Athletic, and has got some brilliant attributes as a football manager. She's doing a fine job at Wigan as she looks to try and take promotion. However, this, I think, has to be the starting 11 for us. I'm going to swap out Mendes Gomez for Joel Randall, as he had a bit of an impact towards the end of the game there. And I'm going to continue on with Matete, continue on with the rest of the side. Gethin Jones is back, so I'm going to swap Dacros Cogley and Gethin Jones. It's actually really nice to see now that, apart from obviously the long-term injury of Santos, Dempsey coming back, and we've actually got the whole squad to pick from, because we've struggled all season with injuries. And I think that is going to be the main difference between us finishing, hitting our objectives this season or falling behind, is the injury count. And we can't say we haven't been affected by that throughout the inconsistencies, because we have done. And I think if I was to ever have that meeting with the board, if we slipped down to mid-table, and the board were upset with my management of the team, I would use that as an excuse. The injuries have affected us this season. But let's ignore that now. We've played the extra game in hand. We've got the extra points over the teams around us. We sit inside the playoffs. Let's use that as positive motivation now as we play Wigan Athletic. Come on, boys. Let's get 3 points out of this one. We're at home in front of the home crowd. It's a big crowd as well. 28,018 people coming out to a League One game is fantastic. These Bolton are truly a fallen giant, but you can't knock Wigan Athletic. They are still a decent club as well, winning the FA Cup against Man City all those years ago, unfortunately falling down as far as what Bolton have really. They're a side that will be wanting to get back into the Championship, and really are one of those clubs, aren't they? I'm thinking prime Barclays days, Bolton and Wigan were in there. You do miss them. Collins hits the bar through the cross in the 30th minute. He has another go through a header, but Sam Tickle saves and holds on the ball. Another really solid keeper for this division, Sam Tickle. And again, they've got some great players. Jason Kerr in there, Stephen Sessington, Ollie Norburn, Jason Kerr. Really, really good players. But we've had the much better chance percentage if you look at that. However, we haven't really controlled possession. But does it matter if we get the goal before half time? It looked like it was going to nestle into the net through Adebiojo, but it hasn't. And we hit the halfway mark at 0-0. this is what I'm looking at compared to Wigan. We really have had the better chances, but possession we haven't really controlled. And I think I'm going to say that as part of my half-time team talk. It hasn't really gone down with Josh Sheehan. He seems to have lost focus. But let's see if we can have a little bit more of the ball, because if we have more of the ball, we're going to create even more chances and be able to hopefully sneak that goal. It looks like it's going to be a game of not many goals, and Wigan Athletic really have set up for that in their formation, playing the 5-back. But we continue on again. Josh Sheehan with the ball. Yes, he might have lost focus in the dressing room, but as soon as he enters that pitch, he's a man who is clearly focused. Farino, I was scared what he was going to do there. He was dribbling with the ball. That's why I hesitated. Aaron Collins on the left. He hasn't really got anyone in this pocket here to help him. He's got Benassi, who is easily pressured, but the ball's just cleared away. Wigan really look like they're scared almost of the threat that is posing to our attacking players. Toll finds Mendes Gomez, who slots it back to Matherson. Lovely 1-2. Matherson makes the overlapping run, but the pass again is poor. The pressure from Jay Matete, though, isn't, and we attack again. Toll to Matherson. He's got all this space on the right-hand side to run into, and he's ran into it well. He's got the support of Mendes Gomez, who's been found, and Collins at the back stick, but the ball just whistles wide over the bar. And there is only 25 minutes to go. We'll give them a shout of encouragement and maybe try and bring on someone else. We'll take Avada show for Keon Ateti. McAtee's looking nervous. I know it's a big game, but there's still stuff to do. Let's bring on Thomason for Matete, because again, he's not really having the best of games, although looked decent in the highlights we've had. I'm just changing this up tactically in our opposition instructions. I don't think there's anybody else really who might make an impact. Collins hasn't had the desired effect out wide, so we'll just watch him in the next 10 minutes and maybe substitute him off. Apart from that, the rest of the squad is doing the business. And another highlight falls 80 minutes in. Benassi with a corner. Can we do something from a set piece? Fires in the ball. Farino's there. Matherson back to Benassi. To Collins. To Thomason. Mendes Gomez has the space. He hits the bar. And it's not for the first time today. That's happened. Ball back in. Norburn clears. Come on, Bolton. Let's get something out of this, please. We're at home. Let's get the goal. Collins, the highlight continues for Reno, playing it delightfully at the back. Luke Matherson, who's been effective out wide today, finds Sheehan. Keon Ateti, I thought he was going to be able to find the control there to bring the ball down, but wasn't able to. And yet still Wigan come forward. This would be upsetting if they score from their first attack of the game. And we have not seen a Wigan chance all game. We've dominated. Yet we've been caught on the counter-attack, and that is absolutely unfair. That has massive implications for the table, and that is brutal, absolutely brutal. John McAtee, I'm going to bring on to try and change this game up as an inside forward. I know he's not very used to that position, but we just need to try it. I'm going to keep on Josh Sheehan, and I am just going to take him off for Gethin Jones, but that's upset me more than anything. I can understand. Look at the players' morale; they've absolutely gone down because of that. And I look at the stats as well. Look at the stats. The game's just going to see out as a 1-0 defeat, isn't it? Which is going to upset the supporters and upset the board, and it upsets us and the players. That is upsetting. Yeah, it's not nice to lose to our rivals, but it absolutely was so undeserved. Wigan Athletic beat us by a goal to 0, and if they win their game in hand, will be level on points with us. Look at even teams like Stockport County now have got an extra game in hand. 2 games in hand are only a point behind. I don't want to miss out on the playoffs, but the picture of it does not look pretty, and we've only realistically now probably got about 2 episodes before the end of the season. And I think if you look at the run-in, we've got Huddersfield Town, who are just outside the playoffs, Wrexham, who are in there, Rotherham, Bristol Rovers, Birmingham, who are in there. I think we've got to come back really for this sort of run. Birmingham, Stevenage, or maybe Stevenage, Mansfield. How are Cambridge United doing compared to us? They're got 2 games in hand. If they were to win both of them, they'd only be a point behind us. That's really, really critical as we enter the final stages. And look at how tight this is as well. Wigan, we play on the final day of the season away from home. We've got Barnsley, Exeter, Shrewsbury Town in there. It's going to be one fierce end to the season, but the target has to be in those top 6 positions by the end of the season. Can we do it? Please join us for the next episode. If you've enjoyed this one, hit the like button, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And I'll catch you for episode number 6 very soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.